Hi guys, welcome to the War Room, and today on Tabletop Anarchy we're going to be taking a look at the core mechanics of Blood Red Skies. So I think we're going to be taking a look at advantage, what the advantage means to your planes, a bit about the boom chits, the card stats, any tests that you might have to make and stuff like that. So should we get stuck in?
Yes, yep.
Yeah, so if we have a look at the advantage first.
Yep.
So how the advantage works. So one of the main mechanics of the game are revolve around the advantage level of the planes, right? So you've got neutral, which the plane stands at sort of normally. You've got advantage, and then you've got disadvantage. I like the plane clicks quite well.
It's a nice base for that, isn't it? It clicks quite well.
Yeah.
And obviously that changes a lot in the game. It changes your turn sequences, where you go, what you can do on your turn.
It really makes a difference if you can start the game in an advantaged position, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah. So if we want to talk about some of that, of why that is better in the game to start in advantage, or obviously you don't want to start disadvantage. You never want to be disadvantaged if you can help it.
Yeah.
That's the worst place you can be.
But advantage, so starting the game advantage means you can use that advantage, you can burn it to get some extra manoeuvrability and speed throughout your sort of activation of that plane, doesn't it? So burning advantage and the advantage of the plane is one of the core mechanics of the game, right? And then from there it's like, well, it's okay, so what else comes in? What makes it what it is? What makes Blood Red Skies sort of more than just rocking planes backwards and forwards? So winning and losing the game revolves around
boom chits, And the idea with the boom chits is you want to get more boom chits onto your enemy planes, well, your enemy squad, than they have planes. And that signifies that the heat's a bit too much for them and they've gone home. They don't like it, it's just getting a bit too much.
So that's all about the pressure, isn't it? And they go on the player rather than the plane, don't they?
That's it, yeah.
So it's basically, once I put enough boom chits on you so that your planes are really under pressure, you've got more pressure than you've got planes left.
Yes.
You're going, alright, we're packing up.
You turn tail, you go home, live to fight another day, try again later on.
Cool. And we've got these wings out, and these wings are basically just to sort of show when your plane's gone, isn't it?
Yes, So when it's finished its activation, you put your wings down, because obviously throughout the turn, depending on what's happened, if you've taken fire, you can drop down advantage levels, and so without the wings, you're never sure if your plane's been, or it's an easy thing to miss. So you want the wings down.
Get those wings down so that if you've started your turn like that and you finished it like that, you're not going to try and
exactly. You're not going to go again the next round with that plane and try and cheat.
So we'll put some of the cards out here. So we've got the card for the Spitfire and the card for the 109s. What we're looking at here, so we've got the name of the planes, but then we've got a number of sort of coloured symbols there.
The stats and that's it.
Yeah. So what's the top one we're looking at?
So we've got our firepower.
Yeah,
well, gunnery test, isn't it? That you kind of.
Cool.
That's what it comes into. It's your firepower.
So what the weapons on the plane?
Exactly. How effective the guns on the plane actually are.
Cool. So regardless of whether it was machine guns, cannons, etc.
Exactly.
This symbol at the top here represents the firepower, the punch of the plane.
Because again, when we're talking about these planes, they were still quite early war. So the firepower, everything wasn't great on these ones.
But so we guess we'd expect to see this increase as
the planes go on and as the war moves on. Yes, you're going to see. I think you're going to see all the stats increase quite a lot.
Yeah. Well, then it brings us on to the next one, which is quite nice. So one, obviously, I'm guessing one's quite low. 3 here for the 109. So this is the manoeuvrability of the plane. So anything that represents its agility.
Yeah.
The plane's ability to make turns and manoeuvre through the skies, as it were.
Or try and escape certain shots.
Shots coming in.
It comes in handy. And I think 3's about an average we've seen, isn't it?
Yes, definitely.
3's an average we've seen. It's not too bad. It's you're doing all right if you've got 3 manoeuvrability.
And then the last one we've got is the move, isn't it? So that's rather than that being like a rudimentary number, that's actual inches.
Yes,
planes can move,
that's it.
Yeah.
And we'll be covering that more later. All of this we'll be covering more later on in other videos.
Cool, yeah. So this is just giving you a bit of an overview of what everything is and what everything means. And then finally there's some small little numbers there, which is...
very small at the bottom.
It's a mile per hour underneath the speedo, which kind of makes sense, you know, so that's obviously quite obviously the speed of the plane.
Yes, the max speed of the plane. The max speed of the plane,
so... 354 for that 109 there.
357 for the Spitfire.
And as I understand it, when you're performing a turn, and you're starting a turn, and you've got two planes that are tied for what's going to go next.
Tied for pilot skill and advantage level.
Yeah.
Then it does go to speed in miles per hour. The faster plane goes first.
Cool.
So yeah, that could clinch it in the later round. Well, at any round really.
I think just you've mentioned something there that brings us on to. So this is the pilot skill, which I believe is this number on the back of the planes here. So we've got a 2 here and a 4 here. What's the difference? Is 2 high, 2 low?
2 is low. 2 that's your rookie pilot.
Yeah.
Then it goes up to 3, 4, quite good pilot. Then obviously your aces are 5s.
Yeah.
And that comes into play with a lot of things, with everything really. So when you're firing, when you're moving, you add that score to whatever stat you're using, and that's the amount of dice that you roll for that test.
So if I'm going to say, so let's say I'm playing with the Spitfires, and I'm going to make a gunnery test, as you said before.
Yes.
So I want to shoot at something. I make that gunnery test to fire at another plane. I'm going to take my pilot skill of 2 again with the firepower of 1, and then I'm looking...
You're looking for 6s.
6s.
A 6, you got a 6. That's a success.
And
yes.
Every test you make is looking for 6s.
You're always looking for 6s. A 6 is a success. If you get 2 6s, that's a critical, which helps you out later on.
Cool. We're going to have a little look at that when we get into sort of dodging attacks and stuff in a later video.
The other things on the card is also what cards your squadron gets as well. So the Spitfires get tight turns.
Right, okay, so this is the plane's trait, isn't it?
That's it, yeah.
That's inherent to that plane.
To that plane, yeah.
All Spitfire Mark IIs will have that trait, which is, as you said, tight turn.
Tight turn,
Same for the 109s. All 109s will have those traits. And I'm guessing, as we move through different marks of the Spitfire and the Messerschmitts,
they're going to
some
change.
Traits. To represent how the plane developed.
Exactly, yeah.
As well as, I guess, the stats, like you say, when they put on cannons onto the Spitfires, it's going to go from 1
to 2 or 3 or... Yes, yeah.
Cool.
As I say, at the minute, we don't know what they're going to be. We can just...
And these are the aircraft trait cards here, aren't they? So backs and fronts, just, so people can understand. It is quite obvious, it says aircraft trait. It corresponds with the traits on the card.
Yeah.
You know what you're looking at.
And again, I love the little artwork on the back. It's just
lovely.
Nice little pictures.
It's very in keeping with the...
It is, it just makes it a little bit different, and I like it. I think they're nice.
Yeah, they're cool. And then the last 2 things we've got on here, so these are what sort of adds a little bit of extra depth to a game of Blood Red Skies, isn't it? So you've got your theatre cards and your doctrine cards, and they do strike me as quite self-explanatory. Your theatre card, I'm guessing, is where you are.
Yes, it depends on where you are in the game that you're playing. So you can have ones such as home advantage, which means that if we were playing and I was the Spitfires and I decided that we were playing over Britain, I could take that and it'll give me a bit of an advantage in some way, Cool.
And some of them are a bit early war, some of them are a bit more late war.
They are,
depending on what faction you're playing.
They are, and some of them aren't that specific. They're just ways to help you out doing different things,
Yeah, and they generally represent the the actual theatre. So whether you're getting some heavy flak presence, like say because you're flying over London or wherever, and some of them represent cloud cover and the weather conditions of the day. And then finally we've got the doctrines.
Yeah.
So again, I'm guessing this is how the squadron's been trained. So
again, they're more kind of special cards which you can take within your squadrons, and again, there's a few to choose from. We'll have to play around with them before we give you our verdict on what we think are good and what's not.
I'm looking forward to getting really stuck into making up your deck of
cards and seeing how it all plays out and what works for you and what doesn't.
So if I'm right, you get a trait for every plane you've got. So if I've got 6 Spitfires, I'll have 6 tight turns.
6 tight turns, yeah.
But I can only have a few of these, can't I?
It depends on the number of planes you have. Right, yeah, if you only have 6, then I think you only get 1 theatre and 2 doctrines, is it?
Right, yeah.
And
I think so, yes, yeah.
I know.
The more
planes you get, then you get a few extra cards and...
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you're playing bigger games, you're going to have a few more special cards in there, yeah.
Cool. Well, hopefully that covers all the sort of core mechanics and gives you an idea of just some of the gameplay and how it works. We're going to get stuck into a load more videos on just how each of those elements work on the table, whether it be moving your planes, making tests, taking another plane down, and so on and so forth.
So if you like the video and you think this could be helpful, like and subscribe. Keep an eye out on Facebook. We're going to be going into more depth on all of these rules. Thanks. We'll see you again next time.
Cheers
Cheers, guys.